Video archive 37, LPSN long. Trade duration, 3 trading days. Entry, 79 cents. Exit, $1.01. Gain, 28% rounded up slightly. This is my trading chart. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here. Boom. Now what you see here, boom, is my trade. I'm not going to draw this perfect, but this was, so my entry was based off of the fact that, first of all, we got a break from this channel, and taking into context that we have this bottoming formation. If you watch Trade Spotting, he will point out that there's a couple different bottoming harmonics that suggest a bottom, and we have this head and shoulders. So knowing that it's potentially a reversal formation, and then he's laid out a whole bunch of background story about the actual company and background. I don't know if that's so much background, but fundamentals, and how there's like a new CEO in January and a new like head of product or something. So there's kind of a transformation story on the go here. And we got a breakout from this channel it was in. Well, I guess, well, I have this on the, just while this is in my head, I'm going to point this out. You can see that the elasticity of the price outside of the channel here is part of what took led me to exit right here at 101. Also, the psychological level of $1, and I'm gonna drop horizontal on here real quick. You can see that is the beginning of this gap right here, and I find previous gaps tend to act as resistance or support in the future when price revisits that area. Actually, I'm curious to see. Let's drop one at the top of the gap and see how price. I guess it wasn't too important that, but anyway. So that was part of my exit. It's a little out of kind of getting all over the place here, but let's zoom back in and look at why I entered. So you can see we got a touch of that trend line, and we had held out of the bearish control zone, rejection of the bearish control zone, and clear divergence on the RSI here. See, right? Held the center line on the hourly here. So you could tell that momentum was still in our favor. Plus we got a breakout. Plus we were in a uptrend. So it is what it is till it is what it isn't. Let's play with a fib for a second. See what kind of retrace. Yeah, you see we had a 382 right here. A powerful response right after hitting it. Let's check the extension for the exit on that wick. Let's see if this happens to be a 1.13 or 1.41414. Literally to the penny. That's interesting. I already mentioned the psychological level of $1 and the expression of liquidity, which was that measurement I took from the low here to the channel. Took us right there. I'll just show it one more time. So from the channel to the low is the amount, or is the expression of liquidity from the breakout to that wick before having, let's see how significant. That's 10%, 11% retrace. So yeah, something like that. Although, as you can see, we went on further. I missed out on potentially half of the gains. Now, on this one, I actually took profits with half my position at 101, and then I got washed out. I stopped out at 96. I ran my stop really tight on this one. So I got washed out about here. Pretty bad placement. That's right where it gapped up from, interestingly enough. That's really everything on this trade. Man, I've been having a lot of trouble letting my winners run. And it's probably a combination of trauma from past things I've traded. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't really know. I guess there's that 50 period moving average here also that we were playing with, confluent with that trend line. I think part of it is I'm watching it too much. I'll have it on open in the background at work and I'll be pulling up the chart and just kind of keeping my hand on the pulse. And that makes me feel like I have to take action, take action, take action. I got to do something, right? You got to do. Now I got to just be patient, let the thesis play out, stick to the plan, quit widening my performance gap, meaning the space between my plan and my actions. I've got to minimize that space between. I guess I'm going to point out I'm looking for an entry now at 96 cents. Which would be a gap fill and a 0.5 retracement, at least from that oscillation. Let's go to the low down here. And a retest of this previous high. Although I do have multiple orders set, I have some set at $1.01 just in case this high protects it, acts as support. We got earnings coming up also, so that will be interesting. I'm not too sure what to expect for something like this. Although now would be the time to have a kick-ass earnings because bottomed out, starting to put in an uptrend, right? Higher low, higher high. I mean, this is my uneducated or my fairly new to trading opinion would be, maybe we hold the center line on this, but I would expect a touchdown here before continuing up. That's back down to 62 cents. That'd also be before this. I don't know if you'd call this an impulse move, but before that violence would be a test of that. Anyway, I'm a loud person, still living.